Hey, this is Tony here with Salt Strong, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the MirrOmullet made by MirrOlure. This is a topwater lure. They run about $6 to $7. Sometimes you can find them on sale for like $3 or $4 depending on where you're shopping. But these are a great topwater lure for redfish, trout, snook, and even tarpon will hit these as well. Now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons, what I like, what I don't like about this lure, also some rigging tips that can help you out when you are using this lure. Now the main thing that I like about this lure is the fact that it has a pretty small profile compared to some other topwaters that are out on the market right now, such as the Zara Spook or the Rapala Skitter Walk or Skitter V. It has a much smaller profile, so if you're going after fish that are going after some smaller bait, this is definitely a good option when targeting those fish. Now I really like the action of this lure. It has a very clean, very tight side-to-side action, just like most other topwaters that have that walk the dog type of action to them. However, this one works very well under clear, calm, glassy conditions when the water's flat. It doesn't work very well in windy conditions, but it excels very well in conditions where it's very calm out, because it doesn't splash as much as some other topwaters out there. And sometimes when you have too much splash and it's very calm out, that will actually spook the fish. So if you're going with a more subtle, very calm presentation, I would definitely switch over to this lure under those conditions. Now, as far as what I didn't really like too much about these lures is the fact that, as I just mentioned, they don't work very well in windy or choppy conditions. They're a little bit smaller than most other topwaters, so they don't cast very far in windy conditions, and also the action gets compromised when the water's chopped up quite a bit. You really don't get that much action out of them. And also with the hardware that's on them, as I've mentioned before in some of my other product reviews, I'm not a big fan of these silverish gray hooks. So what I'll actually do is switch them out. You can see this one here has some different treble hooks on there. I'll switch them out with some different hooks that are a little bit stronger. And I like to go with these Gamakatsu extra wide gap treble hooks. The number 4 size seems to work very well with this size MirrOmullet. So that's the type of hook that I like to go with, and I'll swap out those grayish silver colored hooks. Now, one little last tip that I'll leave with you guys is that these lures come with a split ring on there, and what I like to do is remove that split ring and then just attach my lure to my leader using a loop knot, because that loop knot's just less hardware on there, less distraction, also less weight. So I'll remove that split ring, just put a simple loop knot, whichever loop knot you prefer, and connect the lure to the leader using that. Now the reason you want to use a loop knot is because it allows more freedom of movement for the lure, because this lure does have a side-to-side action. You want the lure to be able to move freely on that knot, so that loop gives a little bit extra space for that lure to move around. Now the split ring that comes on these lures, it acts as the same thing as a loop knot would. However, you don't have to worry about your line getting caught on the split ring or possibly getting cut off by the ends of the split ring, where you would actually remove the split ring from the lure. So just less hardware to worry about and less to worry about as far as your line getting caught and broken off. So that will wrap up this review of the MirrOmullet made by MirrOlure. If you have any questions about this, or perhaps you have some experience using this lure and you want to share that with us, definitely leave a comment down below. Also be aware that with lures, even though they are very important when it comes to catching fish, what's more important is actually being in the right spot at the right time. It doesn't matter what type of lure you throw at these fish. If you're in an area where these fish are actively feeding, you know the patterns, you know the trends, you're going to hook into more fish. So if you need help mastering these trends, definitely take a look at our Salt Strong Fishing Club at saltstrongclub.com. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.